there, it's Lizzie all from Old Stables Crafts again, and I'm bringing another card video to you today, project. Mostly this is going to be doing die cutting. There's a bit of stamping, but mostly it's die cutting, and this uses the Lift Me Up stamp set and the framelets that go, or thinlets that go with it, which is the Up and Away thinlets, and they're a bundle. So remember, because they're a bundle, you get 10% off. And they are in the Spring-Summer catalogue. So let's bring in the copy of that. And the really exciting thing is that they go with one of the, sorry about my flagged catalogue. They go with one of the free items in Celebration. So the set is here on page 10 of the new Spring-Summer catalogue. If you haven't got this yet, and you don't have a demonstrator, let me know and I can pop one in the post. There's a contact form on my blog, and there'll be a link to the blog post that goes with this video in the information below. So just let me have your address, and I can, if you're in the UK, I can pop one in the post to you. So the bundle is the Lift Me Up bundle. Remember, if you see these little squares or rectangles, you save 10% if you buy the two bits together. So that's always one to keep an eye open for. So I'm using the bundle, but this also goes with, in the Celebration catalogue, the Designer Series paper, which is, let me see if I can find it. It's not that one. We've got two designers. Here we are. This is the Carried Away Designer Series paper, which is just beautiful. And it's free. So with an order of £45 or any multiple of £45, you get a free item out of Celebration of your choice. So if you wanted a stamp set and some paper, that would be fine. There's ribbon and a tin and all sorts of luscious goodies in there. So this is the Designer Series paper that I'm using here. For the one we're going to be making now, I'm going to be using a different design. So let me bring the bits in so that you can see what we need. We are working with half a sheet of A4 paper, so cut at A5, scored in the middle. This is mint macaron. Remember, you're scoring towards the mountain. Can you actually? Yeah, there's a ridge here, whereas on this side there's what I would call a valley. There is a temptation to fold towards the valley, and you don't want to do that. You want to fold towards the mountain. So have the valley on the outside and the mountain on the middle, and then just with your bone folder score or burnish that. We will also be using a piece of Night of Navy, and this is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. It's one of my fairly standard matte sizes, so about 4 1/4 by 10 centimeters. And then we're using this Designer Series paper, and the back is Peekaboo Peach with little balloons all over it. So we're going to be using this Designer Series paper. No, we can't do it that way up because we've got the balloons. This way up. And this is cut at 5 1/2 by 3 3/4 or 14 by 9 1/2 centimeters. And then there'll be a Whisper White piece inside the card, and that is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8 again, so the same size as the Night of Navy. And then I've got a little strip of Whisper White and a strip, we don't need this much, a strip of Night of Navy, and that's to do the sentiment. And then we are going to cut a balloon, and we're going to use this this die cut for the balloon, and I'm actually going to cut it out of this mat because it's going to be covered with the Designer Series paper anyway, so might as well do the waste not, want not. I have already pre-cut the bits that go behind. If you have a look here, you'll see I've actually used, on this one, I used silver foil and the Dazzling Diamond glimmer paper and the gold glimmer paper as the background for the balloon, because this is quite a dark and fairly flat designer series paper. I wanted to put a bit of bling on, and then I've just got a bit of Peekaboo Peach for the basket. So I have already pre-cut those bits, this time in Watermelon Wonder and Peekaboo Peach, and I'll show you how those all go together, but rather than spending too much time showing you die cutting, there are more exciting things to do than watch someone put bits of card through a big shot, I think. So this I'm going to just run through, and I'm going to use the precision base plate because there's all these little intricate bits to get out. So I shall just do that now. And while we're doing that, remember Celebration, as I say, £45 or multiples thereof. You get a free item of your choice out of the Celebration catalogue. And it's also a good time to think about joining. The standard joining kit is always £99 for £130 worth of product of your choice. But during Celebration, you get to add an extra 2 stamp sets on. So, and there's stamp sets of your choice from either the spring, summer or the annual catalogue. So, yeah, you could end up with over £200 of product. This is already popping out. So if you want the discount, now's really the moment to be looking at it. So this is already beginning to pop out, so that's good. This is the die brush and the sponge pad that comes with it, and you can just run, with the die still in place, just run your brush over the back of the die, and that helps get most of the pieces out. And any that are left generally come out quite easily anyway. Let me just get my piercing tool and just get the last little bits out. But the combination of the precision base plate and the brush certainly loosens most of it. It's really easy to get the bits out. So that's all good. Most of them, just get them last bits off the back. They do sometimes just need a little bit of encouragement, just to release finally. We just want that one out and that one out, and I've got this in one of the wood mount stamp cases, which you can order empty cases, but these are the full size for wood mount stamps, but it just keeps everything together, so don't end up with little bits everywhere, and I can just pop those all in the bin when I have a moment. So there we are, there's the balloon, and then these bits piece together, and I've alternated the colours just for a bit of fun, and you can use any colours obviously. I just picked out the ones that are in the designer series paper. So that's the balloon and then the basket. So you could use the fine tip glue pen. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the fine tip glue pen. So I'm going to use the multi-purpose glue, assuming I have any in here. I do have another pot just in case. And I'm actually going to run glue over quite a few areas just so that I can speed the process up a wee bit, and then we can mount the pieces up. You don't need too much. It's a really strong glue. It's really just to sort of help keep body and soul together, and then just pop them on the back. Getting a bit skew with, so let's straighten those up a bit. That's better. So yes, as I say, during Celebration, perfect time to get free stuff with the Celebration items, but also get extra free stuff if you want to join. As you probably know, the starter kit, or the starting deal for joining is £130 of product for £99, and that includes your postage. You get some brochures and business stuff, so order forms and things as well, but you don't have to run it as a business. You can just enjoy the discount, which starts at 20%, so why wouldn't you get 20% off some orders? And even if you decide not to continue, if you joined now, you'd have until the end of June. You'd get 20% off everything that you order between now and the end of June, which would include being able to pre-order from the new annual catalogue. So you could get all the stuff you want out of the new annual catalogue before everybody else. So certainly worth a while having a look at that. And there we are, one nice balloon. And the fact that we've got a hole there really doesn't matter, because we're about to cover it up with our designer series paper. So as I've got the glue out, I'm actually going to run the glue. Normally I would put the glue on the designer series paper, or the mat that I'm putting on top, but because I've got a hole, I don't really want to put glue where the hole is going to be. So I'll just keep out from the edges, and then take this and making sure the balloons are the right way up. Just pop that down. We've got a bit of wiggle room because it's glue, so I can straighten that up. There we go. And then we can pop that onto the back of or front of our card. I love this suite, I have to say. I'll actually be quite sad when Celebration is over and this designer series paper goes. I am laying in stocks of it so that I've got it for some time to come. But because I am a demonstrator, I get to do that, because I have to order stuff for classes and things. So I get to order extra goodies, and as a demonstrator, I get to order Celebration stuff too. So that's extra good stuff. Right, okay, so I'm going to use the Love is in the Air. Last time for this one I used Thanks for Lifting Me Up. This time I'm going to do Love is in the Air. So I've got this mounted already on a G block, and I'm going to stamp that in mint macaron. And then just making sure you can sort of see. I have to work around the camera to do this, which does make it slightly exciting to know whether or not it's going to be even vaguely in the right place. And it's crooked, so let's try that again. Fortunately, card has two sides. So let's try that again. So working around the camera is interesting. That's still crooked. Okay, well we can sort that out because we're going to punch it out anyway. This is the classic label punch, so I can actually straighten it up as I... Can you see that? Yes, you can. Can't decide whether to do it square or not. I think possibly not. As in, not evenly spaced. There we go. That is now square, so that's good. I always work on the basis that if you're not convinced you're going to get something absolutely in the middle, don't even try, and put it definitely to one end. Then it looks meant. So I'm just going to use a bit of snail to stick that onto this Night of Navy strip. It's just gone over the edge a bit, so I'll rub that down. There we are. And then with our snips, I should just snip that so that it's the same sort of angle. And then what I might actually do is bring in, as this is Love is in the Air, let's bring in enamel shapes. Ooh, and somewhere in here will be Night of Navy. There we are. Yes, Night of Navy. This is the half-size wood mount stamp case, which is very useful for storing things like your enamel shapes in. And because we're doing Love is in the Air, I'm going to use a heart just here to continue the love theme. And then, oops, let's close this up for the moment because I can guarantee otherwise I will stretch across and put my fist in it. Again, we're going to put this at a jaunty angle, so I shall grab some dimensionals. Probably heard me say this before, but these dimensionals are thin enough that they go through the UK post without having to pay for excess thickness, which is just brilliant. Don't like to have to pay extra for just postage. I think that's not a great thing to have to do. I would much rather spend my money on more crafty stuff. So, here we go. Let's pop that at a sort of jaunty angle. Again, I quite like to go over the edge of the mat for these sort of things. Now I'll put just, fortunately, only a couple of dimensionals need to go on the back of this, because I've only got a couple on this packet left. So we'll pop this down here. Just inside. Okay. Then we just need to do the inside of our card. So, we've had Love is in the Air. So I think we'll do Sending Smiles Across the Miles. If I can find it, there we are. I haven't actually used this one before, so it's still got its paper backing on. There we are, take that off. I always like to keep my stamps, my clear mount stamps, in the rubber that they came in, because you can then see where the holes are. When you put them together, you can see if you've missed one. And they come with stickers. I'm not a great fan of the stickers. You can put them on if you want, but I'm not a great fan of them, so I don't. I just stick them straight onto the block. So bring in a C block, and then some Night of Navy. And just tap on that. And then into the middle of the card. I always like to leave it there for a count of about 4 or 5, and then up we come. And then I'm going to bring in the little balloon and the mint macaron again. And then, now in the previous one I had it down here to one side, but this time I'm going to just pop it here. I think it's just fun to have a bit of decoration on the inside of the card as well. And I shall clean those with my Stampin' Scrub in a minute. And this I will use snail for, purely because otherwise you can get a bit of a waffle where the glue is, which isn't terribly easy to write on top of. And don't you just love, look at this. So mint macaron card, mint macaron ink, mint macaron designer series paper, Night of Navy ink, Night of Navy card, Night of Navy designer series paper, and it's all the same colour. Makes it look as if we're all professionals, even if we're not. Oops. And there we go. So that's that one. That's this spring and the one we did originally, and the stamp set. So, as I say, remember Celebration. Also, if you are shopping on my online store, and I'd be delighted if you did need any products and you wanted to shop on my online store, if your order is between £25 but less than 150, check out the new hostess code. Depending on when you're viewing, there's, I don't want to give you a hostess code now because it may not be when you're watching, but check the hostess code, and assuming that you put that you allow me to contact you on your online order, I will then send you some free Stampin' Up goodies about the middle of the if it's a January code, it's normally about the middle of February that I get the stuff through to send out. So yeah, it'll be a few weeks after you order, but do use the hostess code. During Celebration, make sure you're ordering in multiples of £45. But if you're spending more than £100, do look at the starter kit. There is no obligation to continue as a demonstrator if you don't want to. You don't have to run classes or anything. Just enjoy the discount whilst you have it, yeah, make the most of the offers that are there. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. The link to the associated blog post is below. If you want to see more of these sorts of projects, subscribe. I've said in previous videos, when we hit 500 subscribers, I'll be doing some giveaways. So obviously the sooner we can get there, the sooner we can do some giveaways, which would be great. And yeah, hope to see you again soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.